What's up, everyone? A Big Brother Blindside is in the works, but one house guest wants to spoil it. Will they or will they not? We've got so much to talk about, guys, so welcome to your live feed update. Now, straight away, folks, it's I'm going to throw it to you. There's a question that I keep asking myself because we're approaching jury now, and I'd love to just basically do a quick vote sort of thing. So please, folks, let me know in the comment section below who you think is currently playing the best game out of the entire house. You can tell me why, or you can just tell me the name, but I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts in the comment section below. See who gets the most votes as to who is actually playing the best game so far. Brittany, Carland and Hannah started the day in the bathroom talking about what they think Derek X is going to do. Obviously, with Brittany having the power of veto, she is going to pull herself off the block, and then Derek X will be forced to put up a replacement nominee. But the thing is, all three of those guys, Carland, Hannah and Brittany, all know that Christian is the backdoor plan, but they haven't talked that amongst themselves, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if you look at just those three names, they are three different parts of the house. Obviously, Hannah and Carland are in the cookout together, but still, definitely, I would say three house guests apart there. So they don't talk game often, those three, but they all know about the Christian backdoor plan. So they were kind of talking about what's going to happen without sort of fully talking about it, if that makes sense. They pretended they didn't know about that backdoor plan when they all in fact do know about it, which shows that all their words are good. The fact that they all kept that to themselves, it shows that they are loyal to their teammates, and I would say all three of those people there are very sort of loyal house guests, people who aren't gonna just flip on someone really fast. I would have predicted that beforehand, that those were very loyal house guests, but yeah, it's kind of just don't say the obvious, but we all know it sort of situation. Later on, they sort of were joking about Dina Lohan from Celebrity Big Brother Season 2 with the whole I victory vote. They obviously don't have a clue that Derek F. Big D has been messing up his line every single week, much to everyone's entertainment. He's he's a good sport about it, though, I think, and because I've seen some of the videos online of his TikTok and stuff like that where he doesn't get the words right, but he seems like he has a good laugh about it. But that is definitely becoming one of my highlights of the week, watching Big D deliver his vote in the diary room. Derek X received a punishment costume in the veto competition, and he received this in the afternoon, and he is dressed up basically as like a sort of an old Tudor sort of style time thing, and he's got like a bugle that he has to sort of sound every single time someone goes to the toilet. He has to stand outside the toilet door and announce that lord or lady, whoever, is going to the toilet, and announce whatever business they are doing, and then unlock the door for them on the way out. So he is basically on toilet duty, but in a very extravagant way in which he has to announce it all. It's very entertaining. At one point in the day, Brittany went to speak to Derek X and tried to pitch Alyssa as the renom rather than Christian. Now, Derek X didn't seem to budge on this one. It was kind of just a little sort of quick thought. I think Brittany is trying to sort of use what power she has with the veto to try and get some leverage, essentially. But there's not much leverage you can have when you are the person that's on the block. If she had the veto and didn't sit herself on the block, then that could have been more leverage to get Alyssa as the replacement if she was to use it. But the fact that she's on the block, it would be very likely that she's going to use the veto anyway. She can't threaten to use it or not use it when she's on the block, because she's going to use it anyway. But anyway, that kind of happened, and it kind of just dissipated. There was nothing really that came of it. It still seems like Christian is the plan for the replacement nominee. In the afternoon, Tiffany asked Kyland if he knew Sarah Beth before the season started. Did he know her outside of the house? And he swore that he did not. Obviously, we know that's very likely the case. There's nothing to show that they knew each other beforehand. Tiffany is just bang, bang, bang. She's on the ball with every little thing that she picks up on in the house. She wants to know, and she wants to find out what's going on. And she does it in a way where she doesn't offend people. She's not pushing it too hard. She extracts the information she wants. She takes it in, and she uses it to her advantage to better herself in the game. It's great gameplay. Now, okay, talk about the blind side that's kind of in place. So Alyssa and Christian seem to still totally be in the dark. They do not have a clue what is going on. Alyssa has no clue, or I think the idea is slightly past their mind, because of course in Big Brother there's going to be a point in every single week where you think it could be me, you'd be stupid not to. But they seem confident that Christian is not going to be put up as the renom, nor Alyssa. So it would seem that things are going to hit them like a bit of a shock when the veto ceremony actually happens and Christian is put up as the replacement nominee, because later on in the evening we saw Hannah talking to Tiffany, and she said to Tiffany that she would like to give Alyssa a heads up about the renom, and Tiffany just stared at her. I don't see why that has to be done. It's a game. Listen, right, as viewers, I get, like, listen, okay, if you're in there, I get it. You probably want to give someone a heads up just for feelings and emotional purposes. But as a viewer, we kind of just want to see a good old blindside. That's what we want to see upon the house. And, you know, I think there's no reason for Hannah to go tell Alyssa. I get it. It would probably better Hannah's social game. It probably would, because, I mean, it would make sense, because then Alyssa would go, oh, Hannah was the nice one that came to speak to me. But I feel like Hannah could gain enemies from that more than she could gain respect from Alyssa. And maybe Hannah's thinking that if Alyssa wins head of household, she won't be nominated or something like that. I guess maybe Hannah, because obviously with Christian as the head of household, he did put up Hannah on the block. So maybe Alyssa's trying to finish that off and Hannah's trying to get herself in good shape with Alyssa. I don't see why Hannah needs to do this. Listen, she's going to make more enemies from telling her than one person, like being Alyssa, being friendly with her if she was to tell her. So it might happen, it might not. Personally, I'm hoping it doesn't, because I love a good old blindside, and for gameplay purposes as well, it doesn't make sense for Hannah to do that. Tiffany went to speak to Christian and Alyssa at one point to ask them when they should break the news to Sarah Beth that she would be going on Thursday. Now, this is a turnout, because obviously Tiffany is thinking she can get the numbers here. It's possible. It is possible, and I've said this all week long. I've said Tiffany can flip the vote if she wants. So I would say very likely, no matter what happens right now, the final nominees are going to be Christian and Sarah Beth. And I do think it's going to be a lot of back, forth all week until it's settled on probably Thursday or Wednesday night. It will be decided. It will be a last minute sort of thing. It's going to be very interesting to see where things go, because it really comes down to brain versus brawn. Christian obviously is the brawn side of the game, and Sarah Beth is the brain side of the game. What is going to be more of a threat? And this is obviously a very detrimental week in which we are bridging over from pre-jury to jury. Who would you rather be sat not on the jury? Would you rather have Sarah Beth? Would you rather plead for Sarah Beth's vote, or would you rather plead for Christian's vote? On the other side of things, who's to say Christian or Sarah Beth will even be on the jury? They might make it to the final two. Christian could steamroll to the final two with comp wins. Sarah Beth could manipulate her way to the final two. It's a fine line, and you've got to find the balance and essentially at the end of the day make a decision on who is better to take forward and who is better to cut off. Now, it's a difficult decision, and there's arguments for both. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts in the comment section below. If you think Christian or Sarah Beth is the bigger threat, who should be taken forward and who should be evicted this week? As midnight arrived, so did Sarah Beth's birthday, so a huge happy birthday to Sarah Beth. We've had two birthdays this week in the shape of Tiffany and Sarah Beth, but tonight it is, or today as it turned midnight, it's officially today now, Sarah Beth's birthday. So a huge happy birthday to her. The house guest made a key lime pie just for her birthday as it turned midnight, and they all celebrated and cheered and everything when midnight hit. So a huge... on that thought though, I don't know how they knew it was midnight. I know it's weird in the time in the house. I feel like they've got a way of figuring it out. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but either way, Sarah Beth's birthday. Let's give her a hand, guys. Let's give her a round of applause, some party popper emojis, some cake emojis, some drink emojis. Just everyone wish Sarah Beth a massive happy birthday. Now, Sarah Beth is considering blowing things up on her birthday to obviously shake things up in the house. She's becoming the villain of the season, and I love it. It's really great to root for a villain. So she even brought up the infamous Big Brother 10's Keisha's birthday. Anybody want cake? Because we might be getting it today, guys. Sarah Beth, I think, is considering of doing a part 2 of Keisha's birthday sort of thing, but it's now obviously Sarah Beth's birthday. Hold on to your seats, guys, because we may be getting that today. Tiffany ended up telling Claire about Hannah's idea to give Alyssa a heads up before the eviction. And they were sort of talking about how Christian really wants Derek X out now, so it would make logical sense for Derek X to put Christian up on the block and hopefully get him out. But then again, it would make logical sense for Tiffany to send Sarah Beth out the door, because then she doesn't have to go for Derek X. We know that Derek X is a huge comp threat, and the only person who can counteract that in any way, shape or form is Christian, who can also win a ton of comps. So I guess Tiffany's kind of keeping a secret weapon around that she is going to use for the battle of the comp beast that could go head to head, because Derek X could equally end up storming his way to the end with loads of comp wins. So there's arguments to both sides. I know which side I'm on. I know who I want to go home. I discussed that yesterday. But I can totally understand how house guests are looking at both angles, and you've got to appreciate them all just playing the game hard. They're not just saying it's this one person because the HOH wants it. We've got to literally, I think we've got to applaud them this year, because we don't often get this in recent years of Big Brother, where people are actually playing for themselves, not for what the head of household wants. So I respect every single opinion this week as to why somebody should go home. There's logic on both sides, but put it this way, Christian will be gunning for Derek X if he stays, and he wants him out in the next few weeks. So it's going to be crazy if Christian does end up staying. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching and are really enjoying this week so far, as well as I am. So, folks, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you happy with Derek X as the head of household so far? Do you think he's doing a good job? Would you like Christian to be the replacement nominee? Do you think Tiffany should lead the charge to try and take out Sarah Beth this week instead? Do you want to see Keisha's birthday part 2 with Sarah Beth's birthday? I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts in the comment section below. Almost got that mixed up there, folks. But again, folks, thank you so much for watching. I'll say as I always do, make sure you're staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there. And be kind to one another, folks. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.